to do. I want y'all to listen to Brandon Beal. I don't have to say a lot because look at the numbers. He has been dominant this year in recruiting. And now we're getting the depth piece working. We're getting lists. I'm telling you, what's going to happen for Brandon Ashley over the next little bit is going to be so exciting to watch. So I want you to I texted him a few things and I said, hey, can you tell him a little bit about this? Can you tell him a little bit about that? Brother, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm going to mute out and I'm going to listen in.
Can you hear me okay first, Stephen, before you go?
Loud and clear, brother.
Awesome, sweet. Thank you so much. As always, man, thank you. I don't take this for granted. I don't take it lightly when I get a chance to speak in front of your team, your base. You know, you got some superstars, man. I'm looking at the Washington brothers like, man, that is a good find. You know what I mean? But, you know, Stephen hit me this morning, and one of the things that I am crazy passionate about is giving people this opportunity, right? I believe in my heart and I believe in my soul that we all have a superpower. Okay, I'm a huge nerd. I love Marvel, DC, Batman, Iron Man. I love all that crap, right? And I really truly believe that we all have our own superpower within us. Okay, and I like to believe that one of mine, okay, is recruiting. Okay, and I believe you have yours too, and it's up to you to find out what that is if you don't know already. But hopefully I can give you guys some insight in recruiting and building and just going out there and just offering this opportunity to people who want it, right? Firstly, I believe that your obsessions become your possessions. Your obsessions become your possessions. So what are you obsessed with, Brandon? Personally, I'm obsessed with recruiting. I'm obsessed with freedom, and they go hand in hand. Okay, I am 100% obsessed with both. You cannot get free without a team. You can't win a championship without Shaq and Kobe don't win championships without teams. Jordan and Pippen, I can go on and on, right? The Yankees, you don't win, you know, without having a solid team around you. You can build a deep six-figure income selling. We've seen it. We've seen it with Megan Wood. We've seen it with Michelle Allman. We've seen it with Sarge, and I can go on and on and on, right? But if you want freedom, you have to recruit and build. If you want what I call MPI, which is massive passive income, if you want massive passive income, you got to recruit and build. I want to take my wife to Fiji, okay, and not have to worry about budgeting and making sure that money is right. We can only spend so much on this. We can only spend so much on that. And then when we get back, we got to pay bills. You don't want that, right? But if I have a team of men and women who are hungry, who are ambitious, who've got fire, who've got drive, and they're out there protecting families, we don't have to worry about that. You know what I mean? Stephen and Holly don't have to worry about that. Andy and Jane don't have to worry about that. Hell, Andy, I don't know, a couple months ago, it seemed like him and Jane were in Aruba and then Dominican Republic and then, you know, all over the place. You know, they don't have to worry about income while they're gone. You know what I mean? So, you know what, Brandon, that sounds good, but I don't want to recruit, or I want to wait to recruit. Honestly, and at the risk of sounding like an arrogant person or at the risk of hurting someone's feelings, don't do that. That is one of the biggest mistakes you can make, is waiting to recruit. Okay, you're going to put yourself 6 months behind when you should be 12 months ahead. Okay, don't make that mistake. It's almost like, wait, hold up. You want to see if it's real, but you're here already. So you know it's real. So what is the real reason you do not want to recruit? If you do not recruit and you are not hiring people every single day and every single week, to me, you're selfish, because we have the best opportunity on the planet to build something, not just for yourself, but for generations to come. I guarantee you, Chanman and Tinsley have nothing to worry about because of what Stephen and Holly have built. You know what I mean? They're having fun. They're traveling. They're building their business. But guarantee, without recruiting and building, Chandler and Tinsley will have to work full-time jobs and probably struggle. But because of what they built, they don't have to struggle, okay? Don't put yourself behind when you should be ahead. Do what Soto and I do. We call it passing people up. You don't have to be the end all be all. You don't have to be the person that knows everything. If you're just getting started, the only thing you have to convey is excitement, okay? The only thing you have to convey is the will to want to work. And all you have to do is say, hey, I'm just getting started. I'm crazy excited. let me get you to my guy, Mark Hutchison, who's been doing this for a decade now, and the man's making $500,000 a year. Hey, I'm just getting started. Let me get you to my guy, Jeremico. He just got promoted to district manager. He's made multiple six figures. He's been here a while. All you got to do is pass them up. You get your list of people, you pass them up. Don't wait to recruit. That is one of the biggest, if there's been millionaires in our company that I've talked to, and when you get to conventions, you get to do this kind of thing, you can ask these people like, hey, if you can go back in time, if you had a DeLorean and you can go back in time, you know, what would be something that you changed day one? And without fail, 9 times out of 10 is I would recruit day one. I would recruit more people. I will offer this opportunity to everybody and their mother. Watch, come to convention, ask that question. I guarantee you, without a shadow of a doubt, you will get that answer 9 times out of 10. So that's number 2, is not making the mistake to recruit. Start day one. Number 3 is I understand it's a numbers game. Okay, just like when we do sales, we do phone calls. We know not everybody's going to answer the phone. We know not everybody's going to book an appointment. And then when we do book an appointment, you have to understand that not everybody's going to show up. Not everybody's going to tell you yes. Okay, you know that you need to book 20 to sit with 10 to close 5. If you're more ambitious, if you're like Hutch, you're booking 40 to sit with 20 so that you can close 10. Okay, and Stephen, looking at these paychecks, man, on a weekly basis, I think the new norm is probably making like 5,000-10,000 a week now. Like I think we should make that a new norm. That's just popped into my head. But you have to understand it's a numbers game. Without putting in the time and talking to a crap ton of people on a weekly basis, I don't find a Noel Wilson. I don't find a Katarina. I don't find a Tatiana. I don't find a Heather, a Gigi, a Melanie. I'm sorry if I forget your name to mention your name, but I don't find these people. And these are awesome people, but it takes 10 people, I believe, 10 people to find one. That's kind of the metric that I use, 10%. So every week, if you really want to know my goal, I didn't even know it was 21, Stephen. I thought it was more like 17 or 18, but the numbers cut off, but my goal every week is to fast track 10 people. That's my goal every single week. That's 40 a month. And if I'm using a 10% rule, I know I'm going to have 4 sharp studs or studettes. Anything more than that is just gravy on top. I don't have this expectation of hiring Chandler and then expecting him to be a superstar like Hutch right out of the gate. I don't have this expectation of, hiring this woman and she's going to be like, the next coming of, Michelle Allman. I don't have that expectation. Okay. I am putting in number after number after number, talking to person after person after person. Okay. 10 a week is my goal, 40 a month. Seriously. And within that 10% rule, use your 10% rule. Okay. Number 4 would be investing. I've been here a while, 4 years, and 4 years went by fast. You go through your warm market real quick. Okay. And once you do, you got to be able to shell out a little bit of cash to get what you want. It is what it is. We live in a capitalist society. It takes money to make money sometimes. It is what it is. Hell, you need leads, and leads cost money. It is not free. If you're lucky enough to have someone like a Steven or Ned Soto who's willing to invest, or like an Evan or myself who's willing to invest leads in you, but that doesn't happen all the time. It does in our organization. I'm pretty sure it does more often than others, but you don't get that everywhere. You know what I mean? So you have to be willing to invest in order for your business to grow. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, Apple, hell, you know what I mean? These companies don't grow. Tesla doesn't grow without Elon Musk crazy behind putting in hundreds of millions of dollars into his company. Okay, that's how you get growth. You have to be willing, just like you have to be willing to understand it's a numbers game. You have to be willing to understand that if I don't put in money, I'm not going to make money. If I don't put in money, I'm not going to make money. I have Big Ben on the wall behind me, not to remind me to make money, but to remind me that I need to spend money in order to make money. Okay, you have to be willing to spend money to make money. And I understand money doesn't grow on trees. So you do need to start warm market first if you haven't done so already. Start warm market. Make a top 25 list, narrow it down to your top 10, get that list to Steven, get that list to Hutch, get that list to Greco and Guerra, get it to Soto, get it to whoever hired you. Okay. Because again, just like number 2, don't make the mistake of waiting. So once you're investing, boom, let's go. Let's go. Don't wait. Take whatever you've made from sales. I've understood, and I actually talked to Stephen about this a couple of days ago. I understand that making money from selling is money that I need to put towards recruiting. And once that happens, I know that I'm building freedom in return. That's my ROI. It's not my override and then going out and spending on something stupid. It's not any of that. My ROI is being able to be free. Time. Okay. Financial freedom. Tim Go says financial freedom is time plus money. Time plus money. You can't have one without the other and have financial freedom. It doesn't exist. It doesn't work. People have tried it. It doesn't work. Right. So start with your warm market. Once you're done with that, be willing to sit down. Oh my God, I sound like my father-in-law. Be able to sit down, okay, and put together a list of people. Be able to sit down and put together a budget of how much you want to put into your recruiting. And I guarantee you, it's gonna rock and roll for you. So the last thing I want to get into is, Stephen, and this is more coming from the heart, more so than analytics or anything like that. Guys, there's a fire, there's a drive, there's an ambition that I have. I don't know if it's because of my sports background. I don't know if it's because of the way my mom and dad raised me and my 4 siblings, but something in me, I got goosebumps now. Something in me, Stephen, wants to be the best. Not the best that the Alliance has ever seen, the best the industry has ever seen. The best the industry has ever seen. And I understand, just like I understand it takes money, just like I understand it takes, numbers, it takes putting in time, putting in people. I understand it's not going to happen overnight. I get that. Okay. But I want to be known for having the biggest organization in the insurance industry, bar none. I want to be known for having the smartest group with the most sales skills. I want to have 1,000 agents making 6 figures a year, multiple 6 figures a year. I want to have 100 agents. I shouldn't say I. Stephen told me don't say I. Ashley and I want to have 100 agents making $1 million a year or more across the country. And you cannot tell me it will not happen because I've seen it. Andy says you have to seize it before you seize it. I've seen it. I've seen it just like I see all of you here, just like I see myself. I see it clear as freaking day, and no one can tell me any different. You should start thinking the same. What do you want? Your obsessions become your possessions. I am obsessed with freedom, but even more than that, I'm obsessed with helping other people get free because it's lonely at the top. And the reason it's lonely at the top is because the jerks that are up there didn't bring anyone with them. I want Noel with me. I want Kat with me. I want Melanie I want Gigi, everybody, Soto, Patzer. I want all my guys and all my gals I love and care about with me because the party's gonna be that much fun. It's gonna be that much more fun. It ain't fun by yourself. Take some people with you. Again, I'm sorry for screaming, but that's how passionate I am about this business. That's how passionate I am about growing it. You should be too. Are you here just because it's something to do? Or are you here because you want to make something of yourself? At the risk of getting emotional, I lost my grandmother a few weeks ago. And I know she was proud of me. And I know she looks down and watches on me because I was her first grandson. But I want to do bigger so that when I see her again someday, she can wrap her wings around me and say, well done. Sorry. I did not expect that. I'm sorry. That's why recruiting is so important, y'all. Recruiting to me is the lifeblood of your business. And if you are not doing it, you won't grow. Please sell your ass off. I sell every single week. The numbers didn't show it this week because of the cutoff time, but sell your butts off. Take what money you have, pay your bills, do something fun with your spouse, and whatever's left over, man, put it back into your business and recruit. I put in $2,000 a month into recruiting, and I'm able to find the awesome people that I mentioned earlier. You can't have freedom, true freedom, without recruiting. So, Stephen, thanks so much for letting me ramble. I really appreciate it. Again, I don't take it lightly, man. It's always fun hopping on here. Hopefully, I've motivated, influenced, and inspired some people. I say those three words every single day. That's what I want to do: motivate, influence, and inspire. Thanks, Stephen.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you for sharing your heart. Thank you for your example. Dude, I love your passion. And that's one of the things that when I talk to people, I try to get them to be more passionate about the stuff that matters. You know what I'm saying? Like when people are passionate, things happen. Most people, they don't get passionate about the important stuff in life. And so they just kind of drift through. Dude, I love your passion. I love your power. I wrote some of the things you said down. Your obsessions become your possessions. That is so true, right? It's as we think, as we obsess, we are going to do those things. That's why most people produce such dysfunction in their life, because they're watching the wrong stuff. They're feeding their hearts the wrong stuff, and they produce dysfunction, and it's not a surprise. But when you're obsessed about the good things, when you're obsessed about making things happen, that's where your mind's going to work on whatever you decide to put it to work on. And I love that. You also said I talked about vacation, where you're not worrying about bills. That's what I want for everybody. That's why I push people. I'm like, I want you to have that. And I love that new norm, bro. Let's do it. New norm to be in that top 5 should be 5 to 10,000 every week, multiple $10,000 checks. Why is that a good thing? Because good people do good things with money. That's what they do. I know you'll give it to the stuff that will help people. I know you'll help people. And then be the best. That's a posture towards life. And I know this from studying people that are great at business. When you study people that are great at athletics, when you study, like one of the things I do is I look at men that are great husbands and great fathers, because that's what I want to be. I want to be the best husband, the best father I could possibly be. In all those areas, it's a posture towards life, and that's what you got, brother. I'm so proud of you. Well, here's what I want to hit. Here's what I want to hit on, and we're gonna run a little bit over today, but that's okay. I want to hit on being more persuasive. Because here's what I'll tell you. Brandon Beal is crazy persuasive when he's talking to recruits. Mark Hutchinson is crazy persuasive when he's doing sales. People that get people to, here's what it is, get people to move in whatever it is, are persuasive. So here's some quick things on how to be more persuasive. Number 1, establish common ground. People listen to people that are like them. How can you establish common ground? How quickly can you establish common ground? People listen to people that they feel are like them. So before I'm ever trying to convince or to persuade, I've got to get to common ground. Because if we're different, their brain's going to filter the information I'm giving them as, wait, that guy's different. But as soon as the brain recognizes sameness, even in a small degree, once the brain recognizes sameness, it is more receptive to the information that's coming. That's why number 1, you got to establish common ground. Number 2, this is big. Social proof. If you want to be persuasive, use social proof. Social proof is, if others are doing it, I should do it too. That's why when you hear me sell, I constantly throughout the presentation, I say, so here's what most folks in your situation have done. Here's what most folks in your situation have done. Constantly throughout. Why? That's social proof. Other people like them in the same situation have done this. Social proof tells someone that the next move is okay. That's why when you're thinking about something new, one of the first things your brain tries to pull up is who else has done this? Because we need social proof to act on new information. That's just how we work. And all this stuff about persuasion, it's about understanding how we work as human beings, how our brains are wired. And once you understand that, it's like knowing the rules of the game. Once you get that, it's very simple to get people to move. Social proof. Brandon Beal, why do you think I have him talking about recruiting? It's social proof. Think about the things he said. The reason it made you want to recruit, we've got social proof. Here's the next one. If you want to get people to move, you have to move their brains to how. In other words, their brain can't be on what, it has to be on how. So when we're establishing common ground, when we're using social proof, we're moving them towards, they've got this problem, whether it's recruiting or selling. If it's recruiting, they've got this problem. They don't have enough income. They don't have enough freedom. They hate their boss, whatever it is, they've got this problem. So they're looking for the what. We've got to move them to how to solve it. Here's how what we do solves that. Whether it's getting that life insurance in place, whether it's protecting that retirement. Guys, people have stacked up a lot of cash in retirement over the last 13 years. Now's the time to protect it. So when we move them to how, now we've got their brain engaged in the process because their brain is actively working to connect the dots between the problem and the solution. How is the road that goes from problem to solution? So we've got to get their brains moving towards how. Number 4, be likable. The people that are the most persuasive are the most likable. And again, this connects with common ground. They're likable people. There's not, here's what likable does. It creates less obstacles to agreement. And I've coached people over the years so many times on the sales process. And one of the biggest things I try to get them to do is stop being so disagreeable. Stop being so disagreeable. And being likable, it takes maturity and patience. Immature people, they have to speak up on every disagreement right away, right? And it's no different whether you're trying to persuade your son or you're trying to persuade a client or a recruit. See, when I'm working with Chan, I'm persuading him. I'm trying to help put leadership qualities in him because I want him to be a great man and eventually a great husband and a great father. I've got to. I can't come in guns blazing. I've got to be likable in order for him to listen to me. Same thing with a client. I was coaching a guy up, and he was like, "Yeah, I can't sell any of them people," and he's talking about a certain political persuasion. And I was like, "Well, others can." Why? Because they are more likable. You're going in there guns blazing, telling them they're wrong. Who likes to hear that? Nobody. Be likable. It takes maturity and it takes patience, but you've got to be likable. So here's one thing to work on likability. What are my rough edges? Here's the better question. What's it like to be on the other side of me? What's it like to be on the other side of me? That's the question to help you and I start, smoothing off some of them rough edges that will help us be more persuasive people. Number 5, you heard this in Bill. Be bold. I say this all the time. Most agents are too worried about missing the sale, so they miss the sale. Most recruiters are too worried about missing the recruit, so they miss the recruit. Why? Because they lack the boldness. They were 90% of the way there, but they weren't bold enough to make that sale happen then and there. Now, be careful. What I'm talking about here is boldness, not brashness. What's the difference between boldness and brashness? Tone and motivation. You can say very strong things as long as you say them very softly. You can say very strong things as long as you say them very softly and in a low intonation, warmth. And you can be bold and say very strong things as long as you say it in a soft tone and you genuinely want the best for that person. I genuinely believe everybody needs more life insurance. I genuinely believe people need to protect their retirement so that they don't end up not being able to retire. Those are years lost that you can't get back. You can't be like, well, I'd like a refund on 3 years of life because the stock market really screwed up my retirement. No, you can't get it back. So I'm willing to say very strong things in a very warm tone from the right place. That's the key to being bold, not brash. Number 6, combine emotion and scarcity. Emotion and scarcity. Be clear, the sales we make are emotional sales. Be clear, every decision you make is an emotional decision. You backfill with logic. That's why you think it was a logical decision, but it wasn't. An emotion drives the trigger point. Logic backfills with reasons. Same thing with the sale. Emotion is going to be the trigger point to go, you know what? We need to go ahead and get this life insurance. You know what? I need to protect my retirement. Emotion is going to be, you know what? I need to go ahead and get signed. I need to start working on my license. I got to start working on my license. If I don't change, nothing's going to change. I'm going to be 5 years older and 5 years more hating my boss, hating my job. No, I've got to do something now. Emotion is the trigger. Emotion and scarcity. Scarcity in the sale is, if you don't, what happens? The scarcity it creates. In recruiting, it's the scarcity of, what if you don't? Will more of the same get you any better? The scarcity of, I don't have time to keep piddling around. I've got to do something. I've got to build the business. Number 7, ask, don't tell. Ask, don't tell. The most persuasive people are masters of questions. Here's my challenge over your sales this week, over your recruiting this week. Try and use more questions than statements. Statements are subject to disagreement. The way our brain works, our brain digests a statement and says true or false. That's why statements are not very persuasive, because the brain typically is going to reject new information. It's the way our brains work. It's a survival thing with all the data we're hit with every day. Our brains sort, oh, that's not true. That's true. That's not true. That's not like any, that doesn't match any of the files of everything I've already believed. No, that can't be. That's what statements do. Questions make you think. So ask, don't tell. Over the next week, before we get back together next week for the Monday message, let's practice that. Let's end with a question mark, not with a period. I promise you'll be more persuasive. And number 8, and Bill, you teed me up on this perfect with something you said that I took down on my notes. 100% belief. You said we have the best opportunity on the planet. And did you hear the way he said that? How did you feel when you heard Bill say that? We have the best opportunity on the planet. That's 100% belief. It's no coincidence that he has been the most dynamic recruiter on the team this year. 100% belief. Did you hear the way he said it? Did you feel inside what you felt? Can you see why he's such a powerful recruiter? When you watch training videos that Hutch has done and you see the way his belief in life insurance, it's no wonder he's number 1. I'm telling you, it's the most persuasive thing is transparent belief. And it works for good or evil, by the way. You don't think people do evil things, don't believe 100% in what they're doing? That's the only way you get people to do stuff like that. Believe 100% in it. We're using it for good. We're using it to help families finally get that life insurance taken care of, finally get some more life insurance. We're using it to help people protect their retirement so they don't lose everything, so they don't lose a large percentage of it. We're using it to help people build a business that can help put them in a better place. Bill, the stuff you're talking about recruiting, ask Gustavo and Mercedes about recruiting. Ask them about what it's like to go through a health challenge. Dude, you will build a massive passive income. I like that. I'm going to adapt that. I love it. Massive passive. I'm telling you, man. But belief, it takes 100% belief. I can sell on the little bit of time that I have to sell, the amount I sell, because I 100% believe in life insurance. If something happens to me today, Holly will get $30 million, right at $30 million of life insurance. That's how much I believe in life insurance. It's no wonder when someone struggles to sell, you find out, well, they got a policy they had a few years back from something. And it's like, you don't believe, man. No wonder you can't sell. You don't believe in what we're doing. Same thing with recruiting. Why can we get people going? Why can we get a new agency manager leg like Martez and them moving? Guys, I believe 100% that this business is a good business to be in. And I believe 100% that it can help put people in a better space. So I want to do everything I can to help. You can't fake 100% belief. You either get it or you don't. But let me tell you, belief is a switch that we can choose to flip. Guys, Holly and I love you. I can't wait to get out there on the road. I'm going to see some of y'all in Atlanta. I'm going to see some of y'all in Dallas. I'm going to see some of y'all in Denver. We booked new dates for January where I'm going to be in South Florida. And I'm going to be back in Denver. And we got more dates coming. Guys, I'm telling you, 2022 is going to be epic. I've been doing this 20 years. I've seen the way things have worked this last half of the year. I'm telling you, now's the time to go all in. Let's get out. Let's get after it. Holly and I love y'all. Remember now.